Welcome to the National Women's Fitness Academy podcast. We're here to talk about women's health, female hormones, body image, and all things health and fitness.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Women's Fitness Academy podcast. I am your host, Ellen, and I am an educator for Women's Fitness Academy as well as a binge eating and body image coach. And today I am here with one of my good friends here in Bali.
Sorry, I don't have COVID.
Carla Piscoso.
Piscoso.
I almost had it. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks, Ellen, for having me.
And this is your first podcast,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's my first podcast.
So good. Yeah, I'm super excited to chat to you and to just let the women hear your story because, obviously I know everything that you've been going through and, how you got to where you're now, but I think it would be really interesting for the listeners to know. Obviously, here in Bali, you work for Sin Cycle, which is a spin class studio, and also for Rebel. But yeah, let's hear your story. You're from Manila, now you live in Bali.
Yeah.
But how did you get into fitness?
I would say when I was really young, I started playing sports at school, and because we had this program where it's either you do regular PE, which is physical education, or you pay a little bit of extra fee, so you have a more specific PE program every semester or every period. It was period during high school and grade school. It was basically it's the first, not semester. Semester is college, but basically period, we have 4 periods.
Yeah.
And then every period you can change your PE program. And I remember when I was in grade school, I was doing loads of different sports. I did gymnastics, badminton, and then I got really into rock climbing.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
So, but then after grade 7 or 7th grade, I had to get operated for my scoliosis.
Oh.
So I stopped for 2 years to recuperate. Then I went back to sports, but I started dancing. And then when I was in high school, it was hip-hop. And then when I went into university, they didn't have a dance troupe. They only had a team where the team is called Salingawi, where I studied. It's a university in the Philippines. And then basically Salingawi dances all genres. So we competed for the cheerleading competition. We had gymnastics. We did jazz. We did ballet, contemporary, hip-hop, and folk dance. So because I didn't have any choice, it was the only dance troupe. That's where I joined for 3 to 4 years. Got my scholarship in dance. And then studied biology during university. So after that, on my last year, I extended college because I had a setback. On my last year, that's when I started attending spinning classes when I have breaks or after dismissal in school. So I would attend, and eventually I was like, oh, this is fun. Maybe I should start teaching it. So I trained for it. And then when I was supposed to go to med school, I told my mom I like fitness. And then she was because my mom's a doctor. She was supportive about it. But of course, before she wasn't. And then she was like, okay, if that's what you really want, you don't have to go to med school anymore. Because I was in pre-med. Because in the Philippines, how we do it, if you're going to be a doctor, you have to have a pre-med course, which is a bachelor's degree for 4 years. Take medical school for another 4 years. Take another 3 years for your specialty.
Oh.
And it's your entire life you're studying. So I told her that I can't do that because my brain cells are limited. But I can do fitness. And she was supportive about it. 5 years later, I'm still doing the same thing. Fitness, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. But so now you work for Cycle Studios and you work for Rebel. But obviously you didn't just, become a PT and all of a sudden you were approached by these huge brands.
Yeah.
So how did you start your fitness career?
Okay. So my first job was spinning in the Philippines.
Right.
I got lucky. It's called Saddle Row. They were very prominent in the Philippines. They were very established. So being associated with that studio as my first fitness job was already a plus. And then at the time, that's when brands started to reach out for me, like Toby Sports and
Did your
Del Monte.
Instagram start growing as well?
Yeah, it was slowly growing at the time,
Right.
but it wasn't that big yet. It was just like 3,000, 4,000 followers from college and high school. And Instagram was still new at the time, so it wasn't like a big thing. That like right now that it's such a thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, I left my spin job, but I started working for different gyms and studios with different methods. So I started doing HIIT in like Rockwell Athletica's another boutique gym. Then I did the LeBron James workout, which is like Rice Nation, really popular in America, Australia. And then I also did Legree, which was founded in LA by Sebastian Legree. It's called the #1 workout in the world.
Oh, what is this like? Just
Legree is high intensity, low impact. They usually, I shouldn't compare it, but people compare it a lot to Pilates when they shouldn't. They call it Pilates and steroids, but it's really not. It's just basically, Pilates is for like therapy or like stretching and injury prevention or injury treatment or something in that context. And Legree is more of a workout, which is like they have a machine. It's called the Megaformer, and then they use slow and controlled movements like pulses and cables. So they found it was founded in LA by Sebastian Legree, and it's now featured in Forbes. It's like one of the #1 workout in the world. So
is it kind of like reformer Pilates?
They compare it to that, but reformer is more of like lengthening, stretching. This is more of like pulse. It's more of like a workout.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just different. It has like its differences, but they always compare it and shouldn't be. But like it's easier to understand that in a sense if you're someone who's not familiar with it, especially right now we don't have like photos or anything.
Yeah.
But it's called Legree. So HIIT, then I got Legree, and then Rice Nation, which is the Versa Climber workout. It's like doing spinning, but you're standing up. And then the machine is called the Versa Climber instead of a bike. LeBron James does it. So they call
it the climbing?
Yeah. But under the lights with music, to the beat of the music. Yeah.
That's cool. I've never seen it before.
So then after that, I got my yoga 200 hours for Vinyasa and my CrossFit online level 1. So
holy crap,
so
you're
far,
kitted out.
So basically, it's just like a lot. I'm more into group fitness, but I'm trying to get in. I did personal training, but I'm trying to get more knowledge with it, so that I'm not just into group. I'm also into personal training, and I kind of like can mesh both.
Because most of the training that you do now is online, right? Except for the cycle studio.
Yeah.
Do you want to eventually get into more gyms and do like more face-to-face PT stuff?
Yeah, I do, but like I really like group, but I know that I need to be more comfortable with one-on-one too, so I can have like more experience at the same time, more knowledge with different types of clients that I can also use in group. And in the long run, of course, like as much as I love training clients, I'm also like looking into the fact that I wanna be able to train trainers, educate trainers, and be in that other level where, you educate. Because that's how you start with fitness. You're a junior trainer, a senior trainer, then you become a head trainer, then you become an educator. And I want to reach that because I'm not going to be young and strong all the time. Like, I want to get into that place in my career where even if I'm a little bit older, I can still do what I love, which is fitness.
Yeah. And I love that your mom's so supportive about this as well, because
she wasn't before, but she doesn't have a choice anymore.
Because like from what you've told me about like your friends and family and stuff like that in Manila, in the Philippines, if you guys don't know what that is, it's quite different to like the Western world that we're kind of used to, right?
Yeah, I was telling Ellen that Bali really opened my eyes and liberated me from Manila, because Manila, #1. Is a Spanish colonized country before, and American and Japan. So we were colonized by a lot of countries, but we're mainly Catholic.
Yeah.
So we're pretty conservative and pretty sheltered in certain things, or at least I am with my family. So I remember like I had this vision before, or like believe that my first boyfriend will be my husband already. It was like, it took me years to get over the fact that it doesn't work that way. But like, like I told you this, right?
Yeah.
Like, so or my best friend Kathleen, her mom is so conservative too and like protective. Like when she was young, she couldn't play certain sports because her mom was scared. Like even with me, my mom was like, few months ago, we're going ice skating, and then my mom was like, "Oh, be careful, you might get injured, and that's your source of living." You know, like they're very like scared of the world. So like that I remember. Yeah, that's one of the things that you have to understand. Like I'm not all Filipinos, but I'm not as open-minded as I am right now. It really like took a lot of like tearing down like, you know, beliefs that aren't invalid, but you know, like just different from everyone.
Yeah, it's so interesting because like obviously you don't know what you don't know. And
Yeah.
That's
a perfect, yeah.
If you've never seen anything else, like obviously you
Example, this is such a sensitive topic, like polygamy, monogamy.
Yeah.
For us, it's always like monogamy. One guy, adultery is wrong, cheating is wrong, doing this. But you know, there's also like other beliefs that are valid also, like when it comes to, you know, right now it's different. Like there's like polygamy, there's also like when you fall in love with the character, not really it's like LGBTQ plus now. So it's really different. Yeah. So I'm slowly learning that right now.
Yeah. Do you feel like the country is opening up a bit more? Has it changed? I
think yes. Like I think in fairness to the Philippines, even if we're a Catholic country, they're more like supportive with the changes.
Yeah.
As but they're still scared. Like I remember we're like the second to the last country who removed masks. When everyone else was like not using masks, it was like I think it was just last month that we released the no mask policy.
Way.
Yeah, December. So it's
that's crazy.
That's how protected we are or scared.
Yeah. Wow. There's so many Filipinos here though. Like, is there a reason why everyone do you feel
here?
like it's I feel like there's so many Filipinos at the gym, isn't there?
No, just in the gym.
Oh,
but
maybe just in the gym.
That's a Filipino crowd already.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of Filipinos here. Only in the gym. Those that we know.
Yeah.
But otherwise, there's more Australians and Europeans and Americans.
Is it common to when you grew up? Was it common to want to move out of the country, or?
I think it's common, but I wasn't raised that way. So remember my story when my mom kind of challenged me or threatened me. I'm not gonna help you if you need help. If you move to another country, you're on your own. But then she came into her senses. She's like, okay, I'm letting you grow, I'm letting you free. You know, it is what it is. If you fail, you fail. I'm still gonna be your mom. So, you know.
Oh, that's good.
But there are moms or families that would expect their kids to go abroad and be a nurse, be a doctor. It's such a thing. Or we call it what do you call it? Domestic something worker. There's a term for it, when you work abroad, overseas, OFW, overseas Filipino worker. So technically, I'm one.
Yes, and here you are. Even though you're not in the medical space, you're still absolutely crushing.
Or in the service aspect, basically, I am OFW.
So how did you go from being the fitness trainer in the studio, and then you got approached by this brand?
Yeah.
Is that when you started moving more online?
No, it was during the pandemic that Rebel launched, and Rebel was a fitness app in the Philippines where they would record fitness instructors during the pandemic, fitness videos. You know how there's a timer, the exercise. Yeah. It's a follow along video. So that's how they started, and they approached me at the time to be one of their first coaches. Because I think one of the selling factor from my profile was I had a lot of methods that I can teach, which was easier for them, and it's also good because I can provide variety. So reach out to me with a couple of videos, and then Rebel boomed during the pandemic. Brands reached out to them. The brands would choose the coaches. So I did a couple of partnerships with Samsung Philippines. And then some of my co-coaches, they did Adidas, they did Globe is like a telecom company in the Philippines too. So that's how it started. And when the pandemic slowly simmered down, when people started to go out of their houses, that's when we started remote one-on-one online coaching and a little bit of group fitness online. Because like people do their thing in the gym now, but sometimes they're not knowledgeable and they still need a coach. So that's where we come in. We don't do one-on-one because it's still post-pandemic, in person, but we give them the program, they follow it, and they have access to us via social media or messaging apps.
That's great. So you were doing that in the Philippines?
Until now.
Did that start when you moved here?
No, it started in the Philippines. So I've been with Rebel for 3 years, I think.
Holy crap, that's so long.
Yeah.
So then you moved here like 6 months ago? 8 months ago now?
ago.
Jesus, time just flies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, what was the reason that you wanted to move to Bali out of all places?
Okay, funny story. It was because of a guy.
Oh,
but the
God.
guy...
We've all done that.
And I remember in Manila, people know everyone. And they were like, oh, Carla probably went to Bali for a guy. And I was like so annoyed. But in the same time, they were telling the truth. But in fairness to that guy that I dated at the time, or had a situation with, he owned the gym here. Not Zycle, but something else. Thou shalt not be named. He owned the gym. And he was like, I met him in a party through a common friend, and he's Irish. It's like, why don't you just move here, work for my gym? Like, I'll provide everything. So I was like, okay. The minute that I moved here, like a week after, things didn't work out. But he was still nice to me in terms of like giving me work, letting me stay in Bali. So I stayed with the gym for like a month until like Zycle was like doing market research and they kind of reached out to me. And at first I was like, no, I'm gonna stay loyal to this gym. Then like a month after, I was like, hey, is the offer still on the table? On the table? Remember me? I'm still interested. And they got me. Thank you, Lord. And then, you know, like I'm still good with I'm not good, but like we're okay. We're civil. The guy that I used to work with. But like it was Zycle who really saved my ass, gave me a visa, gave me the opportunity to grow here. So it's really good. And they promoted me recently, so I'm happy.
Hey, happy days.
Yeah. But it was really hard when I was here and was figuring things out with the previous gym owner, the guy that I had a situation with. Because, you know, like, I'm not gonna blame it all on him. Like, of course, I let him treat me a certain way, and I wasn't really so honest about, you know, I thought it was just like, yeah, I'm cool with it, but I'm really not, you know, like, I said it was okay, but it wasn't really okay, so I'm at fault too. So, you know, you learn.
Yeah, exactly, and we learn from our mistakes, and like if you're just gonna be in a sheltered box all the whole of our lives, we're not gonna learn anything.
Oh my God, he opened my eyes.
Exactly, and like, yeah, it might not have worked out, but he did bring you to Bali, and look where you are now.
I'm with Zycle, amazing company, amazing owners, amazing superiors. So I'm just like, it's okay, it worked out anyway.
Yeah, exactly, and yeah, it's definitely taught you a lesson, and God, without him, you'd probably still be in Manila.
Yeah, and I thought I was happy in Manila. Then I moved here. Then I saw a bigger picture, you know. And I was like, I guess that's why people, you know, there's always this thing that you should travel, find yourself, get lost, and be found. Now I get it. Because this is like the first country that I lived abroad.
Yeah.
I've never lived outside the Philippines. I would always go on holidays with my family.
Yeah.
Like my recent trip, it was my first long trip alone. I was so scared. But it was like, you know, it helped me grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And traveling really does help you grow so much.
Yeah.
And like you said, like, you appreciate the world so much more.
In a different perspective.
Yeah, and it really opens up your eyes to, like, how privileged a lot of us actually are.
Yeah.
And just like meeting so many people from all over the world. And that's what I really love about being here. Like, if I lived in Sweden, I never would have connected with someone like yourself.
Yeah.
I never would have like met like Mel or Hannah or like any of our other friends or the people that we know here, because people from all over the world, all these different nationalities, all these different like upbringings, perspectives of the world. It's just really cool to have that all together, and that we can all just respect each other, even though like, we might
different.
We might not agree on everything that we all do, but we can still respect each other and like learn from each other.
Yeah, it's good. It's like eye-opening.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any plans to go back to Manila?
just for visiting.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go for that. I'm sorry. I love you guys. I love you, Philippines. But I think I've done my stint there already. Like,
yeah.
it's either I stay here or like settle in another country if I have a family.
Yeah.
But it's not kind of wise to grow a family here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe in Uluwatu.
Yeah.
Not in Canggu, definitely.
Yeah, it's a little bit too busy here, especially at the moment. Like, at the time of the recording now, we're like a week or something after, 2 weeks after Christmas.
Yeah.
And holy fucking shit, Christmas was insane. Like, I don't think everyone
And believe it or not, it's even fuller now. Because people after the holidays are coming back here.
Yeah,
you know?
It's absolutely madness. Absolute madness.
Yeah.
What has been your biggest challenge with like growing your fitness career and becoming who you are now?
One of the things that I don't really share, because it's like, for me it's like a sensitive topic, but it's like not a it's a sensitive topic for some, even for me, but it's not so. It's like an open top, mental health. So it actually runs in my family that we have like mood disorders, and I guess when I was younger, I didn't know that I had one, and then growing up, when I was like, what's the term? When I was like, when they told you what you have, what do you call it? Like, there's a term for that. When not labeled, like when
diagnosed.
Yeah, when they diagnosed me, like when I was like 21, 22, because I'm 29 now. I didn't get it because they diagnosed me with 2 diagnoses, and it was like first depression, and then the next one is bipolar. So like I when I was younger, I didn't know that I was dealing with it, so I didn't know why I would feel certain things extremely more than a normal person does. But now that I know, it's still challenging, but you know, it's hard to get. It's still challenging, but because I know it, it's less challenging. But I still have days that it's really tough. But I guess if you would ask me what my biggest challenge, it's probably dealing with that, because it's up and down. It's like basically there's no in between. If you're happy, you're like euphoric, but when you're sad, even if it's just a small thing, you can't unwrap your head around it, that topic. But like I think also like the medicine, the therapy, it helps. But sometimes like when I get too busy, sometimes it's wrong also. I stop my meds, you know, like you know, things like I experiment, maybe I can do it on my own, you know, then I spiral down again. Then basically it's up and down. So if I would like answer that, it would be like my mental health that challenges me a lot with work. Especially with work, you give a lot of energy when you teach. Totally. But you know, I take it day by day, so it's okay. And I have like you guys, my support system, my family, so it's good.
What do you do on those like down days that you have?
I sleep. I sleep. It's either I cry, I sleep, I think a lot. Yeah. But these are the wrong coping mechanisms. And then I also have when I'm with you guys, or when I'm with my family or with my doctor, usually talk therapy. When you relate, that's what you call it. You relate. You relate. And now I'm more I know when I'm already about to have, I know my triggers. Unlike before when I was still figuring it out. So I know that when I'm triggered, I have like an episode, for example. And sometimes when I know I'm having an episode, I kind of talk myself out of it, or like deal with it better now than before. Like positive self-talk, or like breathing, you know, stuff like that. Because the meds are there to help you with your imbalance, but you still have to have like certain coping mechanisms that work for you.
Yeah, like the feelings will always be there, right?
Yeah.
And the thoughts. And, do you do like journaling and stuff like that?
I used to. Now I because one of the things that I also found out recently, some of the symptoms also makes you forget things. Oh. So it makes you forget things, makes you think a lot, and makes you scared or paranoid. Yeah. So now, because I know that I have the tendency to forget things or situations that happen, I write things down so I don't forget. So I just got back from journaling recently, but I stopped for a while.
Yeah. It's one of those things I find that it's so, like when you do it, you feel so good, and then you just stop. Like,
Yeah.
I do it all the time. Like, yes, this is so good.
Because you get comfortable.
Yeah, and you're like, I probably don't need it today. Like, today was a good day. And then you're like, today was good. And today was not too bad. And then you, like, go, like, downwards again. And then you don't start doing it until you actually crash. Same with, like, meditation. Like, I just started doing meditations now every morning. Like, even just 5 minutes. And I just really feel like it grounds you.
Yeah.
And just teaches you to, like, breathe and just, like, slow down your brain and not be like, like that all the time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like working, like, being, like, your own boss, I guess. Because, like, even though you work for companies, you still kind of choose your own hours a little bit. You have a very, like, flexible lifestyle.
I do.
So when you have that, and especially, like, with you having such a big, like, social media following, I feel like it's really hard to switch off.
Yeah.
Because you're always thinking of, like, what to post and, like, to people to respond to, and your phone is always going off. So it can be so difficult to get to that switch. So I think it's important, and, like, especially, guys, if you are, like, trying to grow your profile, or social media is such a great tool to market yourself, because it's free and, like,
need
everyone
content
uses
all the
it.
time. It's like you have to have. I don't really have a calendar, but I put it in my notes because I like keeping it simple.
Yeah,
like, you have to post all the time and stay active.
Yeah.
Because when you stop posting, people will not really forget, but there's so many competition out there too, so you have to stay relevant in what you do. So in order for you to do that, how I do it is, like, I always post. Even, like, old content that I haven't posted, I post it, and then I already plan ahead what I need to post, what I want to share about to my followers. Usually it's like fitness, travel, and a little bit of fashion.
Was your plan always to have, like, such a big profile?
No, but, like, when in the Philippines, when I saw it growing and when I saw work opportunities with it, that's when I started, I mean, like, it's still my space where I can share whatever I like, but it also gives me business and potential work and connections that, pays the bills, so it's like 2 in 1, work and personal.
Yeah. So with, like, coming from, like, a country that is kind of, like, a little bit, how do you describe it? Like, just a bit, like, not hidden, but, like, concealed, kind of, like, closed up. Is it common to, like, use social media and do, like, stuff that you do online? Like, what do people say about that kind of stuff?
Which one?
Is it, like, frowned upon to be, like, social media? Like,
no, everything. Oh my gosh. It's even sorry. It's even more prominent in the Philippines. People in the Philippines, they earn in social media. Because here it's like pro bono, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone does it here in Bali.
Yeah.
But in the Philippines, you earn from it. Brands pay you, not just give you products. It's like advertisement.
Yeah.
It's like, instead of being in a billboard, you post on Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's not frowned upon. It's something that people really value and consider, and brands.
Wow. So even, like, with your mom, you said she wanted you to go to, like, medical school and stuff.
Yeah.
Is it common for, like, parents to want their kids to
be doctors and lawyers?
Yeah,
it's common. It's common in the Philippines.
Because it's common with, like, India.
My dad's side had the politician side, so they wanted me to become a lawyer. My mom's a doctor. She wanted me to become a doctor.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So it's that, or you go abroad. It's either that, like,
But they're still, are they still, like, understanding of what?
But they're kind of surprised that it's working out for me in the fitness industry, because I remember my mom. I love her to death, and she doesn't doubt me now. But before, she was like, "You're not gonna earn anything from fitness."
Yeah.
And I had to prove her wrong.
Yeah.
Of course, I told you so, Mom. I was like, okay, I support you now.
Yeah. I think it's a very common, like, especially, like, for the older people, parents. Like, I'm very, like, my mom has always been like, you do whatever you want, I'm always going to support you. But she's still, like, every day I have to still explain to her, like, how I get clients on Instagram and how my business is completely run online, how I can choose my own hours. They just that generation just don't get it.
Yeah.
So it can definitely be hard to, like, try to justify, no, I actually do get money from this, or, like, no, I actually have to take a photo of this because this is gonna be, like, this is basically me selling by me posting a photo of me eating a burger, because that proves that I also do what I believe, like act what I believe in. I believe in food freedom, and like with you, it's like, look, I am actually fit and healthy. Like I move my body, I train, I go out for food. Like I am like this trainer that is amazing at what I do, and like that's what you post about it. Like it is a sales platform. Like every single post that you put out there is selling, really, even if there's no click this link or like purchase
it's
here.
different now. It's modern, right?
Yeah, and it's just like, honestly, if you're not using social media for selling, and if you have a business, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, that's true now, especially now. Like one of the essentials on having a business, you have Instagram, a website, and like what do you call it? E-com website.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any tips for the girls if they like want to work with bigger brands and stuff? Like Rebel approaching you is like such an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
Do you have did you ever reach out to brands yourself? Or?
Oh yeah, when I was starting off, I would always like reach out to brands, but like in exchange of products. I wasn't like demanding money at the time. And then sometimes you also choose. Like with me, if I like the brand, even if there's no monetary compensation, I still do it for them. You know? It depends on if you like the brand or if you see the value in it with or without compensation. But at the end of the day, it's still, like, of course, your number one priority is you, and you have to pay the bills and stuff like that. So, basically for me, my tip would be, if you're gonna start off small, and even if you grow, stay humble. Because there was also a time that I became like entitled, and then I had like a good support system to call me out. Like, just because you have a certain amount of followers doesn't mean you're entitled to free stuff. Yeah.
I can't even imagine you like that, because you're like so.
No, it's really there's like a sweet spot for that. It's like, because I have like 200K now. Like when I was starting off, when I was starting to reach 10, because I remember at the time you don't have the swipe up link unless you're 10K.
Yes, I remember. When
so I felt like, I can do the swipe up link now. And I think it was my friends were like, because my friends don't do social media the way that I did it, and they were just like low key people, and they made it. They showed me in a subtle way without calling me out. And social media is just social media. It gives you work and stuff like that. But it's still important to live in the moment, make eye contact, not on your phone all the time, you know what I mean? So, I guess I'm pretty lucky with that. Because some people get blinded. And no one is there to call them out, So I'm just really lucky, I guess, when it comes to that. But yeah, I had that phase too. Yeah.
Were you like hanging out with a lot of people who were doing the same kind of stuff at the time?
At the time, I was connecting to them, but then, it's hit or miss also. Like for me, if you really connect with someone, it's just a bonus if they have many or no followers. But like for me, like I have right now, what I learned is like I have a group of friends for going out, group of friends for working out, a group of friends for my core. So same with social media, like. If I connect with people who does the same thing, usually it's for work and collaborations. There's one or two people that I'm really best friends with. So it's like, I don't know, it depends.
Yeah, it's definitely...
It's also good to have variety.
Yeah. 100%.
Imagine if you're all of you are doing the same thing. It can be also taxing and like conflicting.
Oh, absolutely. And it's just like...
Competitive.
Yeah, like there was a time like when I was really dealing with like orthorexia, like when I was just training nonstop and so like obsessed with tracking my food. I was literally only hanging out with this one person who was just as bad as me, and we were just like triggering each other, like sending each other's like MyFitnessPal's entries to each other,
and then competing with how low.
Exactly, and being like, oh, how many times did you train today? Like twice. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go and do like a third session just so like I can be like the winner. And it's so. Like, you really are, like, the average of the 5 people around yourself.
Other than my mental, I was fighting an eating, too. Disorder. It started when I was in grade school. I was so thin, but I was wrapping myself with, like, bandages in my tummy. And doing oatmeal and crackers and tuna diets.
Oh, my God. And you're already freaking tiny.
No, I was tinier at the time.
That's
And I was bulimic, yeah. We had to deal with that also. And like, if I'm being relatively honest, when I got really stressed, I still have episodes, but now I relate and I can control myself more. But like, yeah, I remember, yeah, that happens. I remember I had the time during the pandemic when I was like training twice and doing fitness pal, and I was in a deficit. And I remember I would always ask my ex's sister how many times she trained. And now I realize it's like kind of competing, right?
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
not healthy, right?
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how we just like justify it ourselves in our brains. Like, no, this is healthy. Like, I'm being, like, 'cause for me, I was like, no, this is the healthiest I've ever been. Like, even though my body was literally falling apart, like, everything was injured, like my neck, my knees.
I remember I was just like, I was happy with my body, give it to that, but like, I was always so hungry.
Yeah.
So I was just like unhappy.
Oh, and it's so bad for you, especially like you said, you had like struggled with bulimia. Like, how, like, when did you feel like you started to overcome that?
It all started in grade school. Cause like,
the stress or
cause I didn't know that I had like a mental thing,
Yeah.
And then in school, it was really like I was one of the few girls that are brown skinned, and it was frowned upon before compared to now. Now, all skins are beautiful, body positivity. But during grade school, it was like thin and white in the Philippines.
Really?
So because I wasn't white, I was trying to be thin. And my mom was a derma, so I was trying to be white too. So I was taking lots of glutathione when I was in grade school. And then I knew that there was like a slight side effect that would make you fat or gain weight.
Oh my gosh.
So I would I would eat so tiny. But when I eat Cheetos, I remember I was like purging at the time.
Oh.
But I really, really dealt with it in college when I got professional help.
Yeah.
Like, I went into a facility, stayed there for 18 months, and then went back to school, finished my degree, gained a bit of weight, but I was happy. So it was like, it took, my family helped me a lot, especially my mom.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did she ever say that you had bulimia, that you were struggling?
No, she found out, but she didn't know about it.
Yeah.
She found out about it when I went to the facility for help.
Yeah.
And then, right till now, when she knows that I do it, or when I tell her that I'm tempted to do it, but I'm not gonna do it, she reprimands me, of course, and she calls me up. But yeah, we're in the best relationship that we've ever had because we got therapy, we got help. And she's my stone. Is that what you call rock? Rock, not stone. Rock.
I think that's so amazing that you're going to therapy. Like, it really is such a life-changing tool.
Yeah.
And something that I think everyone should be going to therapy. Honestly, like, I
think everyone has something. It's just like it's just that everyone's not that capable of having a therapist or like help, But like, for those who have the capability, they should like really appreciate the fact that they can get help.
Absolutely. And like, reaching out for help, like, guys, if you're like struggling with anything, if it's bulimia, if it's disordered eating,
or just like a heartbreak.
Yeah, if it's heartbreak, exactly, like being dumped by some random guy or girl, or if you like have any kind of issues like that you feel like you can't deal with yourself, or if you just want to freaking talk to someone, like a professional that's going to be completely like objective to everything that you're saying, and give you the honest truth, like, fucking talk to a coach or a therapist. Because like, as much as us girls always like share our issues,
it's
and whatever,
still important to get professional help.
Exactly. And like, we're always going to give our opinions based on our own experiences. And based on like, maybe if we're talking about a guy, like, we're gonna like give the advice based on like what you know about the guy, and like, and what that person knows about the guy, and like how you see him, not like how I would see him. Like, it's so important to talk to someone, I think, and it's so nice that it's becoming a bit more normalized now. Is it normalized in the Philippines, or is it like something that's frowned upon?
No, it's more, people are like talking about bullying, about eating disorders, mental health issues. Like, it's more prominent now. It's just like, maybe me, like, this is actually the first time I talked about it. So like, I think it depends on the person. It's like a situational thing. But like, I feel like people are more open now compared to before. And people are more sensitive now. Which is good. body positivity,
Yeah.
loving your color and stuff like that, like respecting each other's boundaries. It's now a thing, even in the Philippines.
That's so good. Because I remember when I, like, even here in Bali, like, you see that they sell, like, creams everywhere, like, for whitening, and, like, all the products have, like, whitening stuff in them, which is so strange from, like, coming from Sweden. Everyone just wants to be tan.
Yeah, because we're Asian.
Yeah.
It's an Asian thing. Well, mostly an Asian thing, but not all.
Yeah. I remember when I was backpacking, and it was literally, like, every shop was just packed. I haven't seen it
here.
As much
It's kind of hard to find like a tanning oil, right? It's like 4 products whitening, 1 product tanning oil. Or you have to improvise coconut oil if they don't have.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like we need to start being a bit more good protecting ourselves against the sun, but... Anyway, I see we're coming up to about 40 minutes, so I'm just not going to hold you for too much longer. You've had a busy day.
It didn't feel that long though.
They always go so quick.
Yeah.
But thank you so much again
Thanks,
for coming
Ellen.
on. It's been such a pleasure having you and
Yeah.
learning even more about you.
Yeah.
The stuff that I didn't even know.
Yeah, you made me feel like I was in a safe zone. So thank you.
Oh, pleasure. I'm glad. That makes me very happy to hear.
Okay.
Guys, if you want to watch what Carla is doing here in Bali, follow her. Can people work with you online?
Yeah. Online, or in person if they're in Bali. Just not conflicting with my job, which is spinning.
Yeah, definitely. If you're in Bali, come and take a class at Zin Cycle. It's just down where Body Factory is, kind of close
Same
to that.
street.
Close to that area. If you guys know that, most people know what Body Factory is. Definitely make sure you go try on one of Carla's classes. She's such a good instructor. Like when I went, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so like amazing at what she does. But if someone wants to work with you, where should they go? Like, it's online.
They can always like message me on Instagram, and then usually from there I give my email and my contact details.
Beautiful, beautiful. And we will link Carla's Instagram in the show notes as well. But guys, thank you so much for listening, or if you're watching, make sure that you are, as usual, taking a screenshot, tagging myself, tagging Carla, tagging Women's Fitness Academy. We love to hear your thoughts. We love to connect with you. And yeah, if you're in Bali, make sure you reach out.
Bye.
Bye!